Well, we might as well get started then. I am working on getting the results of Kademlia requests delivered back to the requester in the original thread because they're delivered in a different thread. And once I do that, I can finish the task of having torrents in the distributed hash table, because then I'll be able to see that they are retrievable, and then I can move on to the next task. So I hope to have a pull request later today.
Mark, on the GitHub as an identity provider, have you been able to make some progress while you're waiting on your PRs?
I'm not waiting for anything right now. Did you want me to?
No. Wasn't that the other thing you were doing when you were waiting for PRs to be reviewed and things like that?
Well, I haven't found myself since I've gone to this mode of having smaller PRs, I haven't found myself having to wait.
Oh, great. That is good to hear.
So if I do find myself waiting, I will go back to that task, but I hope that I'd rather be making progress on more urgent things.
Okay. I think that is urgent in that sense. In the sense, we need to get the research in so that we can start making decisions, because people are asking us. So if you, the urgency is not really. Yeah, urgency is not.
I can work on that next if you think it's important.
Yeah, I think that is the next thing.
Okay.
For us to spend time. So I just rebooted my laptop and I'm still logging into things. So if you need the project board, can somebody else project for now while I. And then go with the next person.
Well, I can go next then. Chris, myself, and Shufei have a sync up today about next steps. I was actually out this morning during our normal. Chris, Shufei, and I have a daily sync up. Unfortunately, I was out for a dentist appointment. I wasn't able to make it, so we're going to be having that this afternoon. After that, I'm sure we will have updates on status and next steps, etc.
Hey, you mentioned Tendermint yesterday. Is there some literature we wrote on why we chose Tendermint or why that is the best option? I didn't.
I thought we decided otherwise.
Yeah, so I got this one, Mark. Yeah, there is some literature, as you put it, on deciding against Tendermint, and I put it together, but we seem to have been rushed for time yesterday, and I never got to speak about it.
Okay. Can you just put it somewhere in so that we can read about it? Like it doesn't. We don't have to wait for the presentation or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I have it, and I'll just put it in the Slack channel. No problem.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can go pretty quick. So I've been doing research, merges, code reviews, and I also did some tool chain research, and I posted in the Slack about Rust strip, which I wouldn't have expected that a release build would have a lot of symbols that could be stripped, but apparently it's like a third of the build, which I found surprising. Like 14 meg down to 10. So, and still runs fine with Rust log. So all the logging is still there. I'm just kind of baffled. That's the biggest finding I wanted to make sure got shared out. Thanks, guys.
Okay. So should we put it in place? Did we put Rust strip in place?
We have not yet, but we're not really doing release builds yet either. But yes, I would say when we do a release build, we should.
Well, we actually are doing. I think every build from GitHub Actions to the apt-get installer is a release build.
Okay.
Oh, well, then I would argue we probably should add a task to do it.
Yes. Can you please add one, Elias?
Did you do any research on what it's actually stripping out? Because in my C++ experience, I know I have a predisposed I don't know, what's the right word in English?
I will put a task on the backlog to research what it's stripping out and whether we should add it to our build process.
That's wonderful.
It sounds like an
Right.
optimization, so I think we can skip doing extra work for now.
And I will put it on the backlog so that we can decide when to do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same. I think it's important that we know what's happening here, because stripping samples from a release, if that suddenly goes from 14 to 10, that's something that worries. But I can probably continue. So first of all, we have GitHub issues. So it's I'm surprised that at least someone could show the board, because it doesn't load for me, but it's not just Pyrsia, it's GitHub in general.
Right, GitHub is down. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
It is.
In the last 5 minutes between my laptop shutting down and me trying to log in, GitHub was down, but now it is confirmed because Johan is saying that.
Yeah, it was intermittent for me, and now it's permanent.
Well, I'm on the East Coast, so maybe
If you
that's
go
why.
to githubstatus.com, there's a
That's
note
green.
about some regional
That's green.
outlets.
That's useless. That's GitHub telling
Yeah,
you
well,
that they are green.
typically
Yeah.
that stays green until they fix the issue. That's,
Oh no, it's orange now.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
then it's
they're
almost
noting
finished.
already regional issues. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm near Elliot, and I'm getting a 500 screen back when I try and refresh GitHub.
Yep. Okay.
It's amazing that they always, well, everyone GitHub Slack, and so always say some customers might have some minor inconvenience.
I'm
but
not going to
actually
hit
the whole thing is-
refresh. I'm not going to hit refresh, so maybe this is stale.
Yeah, I wonder if that card will get saved somehow. If you just choose to enter.
So the reason that I wanted to talk about GitHub is because I was actually sort of looking for an issue. So what I mainly did today was learning more about libp2p, how it is in the code currently, doing some experiments with checking the nodes. And so, and then I also looked at Mitalis pull request about adding more tests. So I'm getting a bit more up to speed. And I think that nobody is working at the moment on the issue for requesting other nodes for an image if it's not found on the local artifact manager. But it might be something
So
that Metal is working on. So.
No, that's what I'm working on.
Okay, so yeah, then I can't do that issue either. So I'm out of work. But I can do more research. Yes, but I mean out of work for the demo. Is there something else really urgent for the demo? I can always go at the backlog.
Yeah, I'll work with you on that. Once GitHub is back, I'll send you something. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's it from me.
Yeah, I can continue. I have not much to say today, other than Chris Krohn contacted me.
Okay.
In private. So he had some very useful remarks, but he didn't. Well, I actually asked him first to put this comment in public, and if that's okay, he will probably do that, and that is probably the most useful. Otherwise, I will work with him to get them the valuable content in the public issue as well. So yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, yeah. Yesterday, I added some shared data to use the libp2p for the sub, but I found it complicated the problem even more. So today, I will try use the other methods. Yeah, that's all.
Anyone else, Chris?
Yesterday was the demo, some marketing meetings this morning, and I have more problems with my bank, so I've been on the phone all morning.
Good luck. Good luck with that. Yesterday, other than meetings, I was able to actually work with Mark in understanding the signature code. and that gave me some insight into how it is built and how it can evolve. So I was just trying to write tests, and I wanted to make sure that I understand it correctly before I start writing more of them. I have a few more meetings today, but later in the afternoon I'll be able to spend more time on that. And I have been in the last week or so, actually, I have been following what is going on Pyrsia notifications channel, like PRs and stuff like that. So you may find it surprising that I will start reviewing PRs, but that's a good change for me that I can now look at some code. Baruch, do you have anything? Oh, he went on mute. Okay. Steve, did you have anything?
Nothing specific, but did we talk about the planned Pyrsia on-site yet?
I mentioned it yesterday that it is in the works, but say more. You can say more.
Yeah, okay. So Fred's going to be out in the Atlanta office February 16th through 18th. And he has some customer meetings, but he's going to make himself available for a day to focus on Pyrsia. So we're thinking that would be a good time to, because Elliot and Mark are there, of course, and we can get some other folks to fly out there domestically. But Baruch is within driving distance, and we were thinking we'll do some meetings there. So more details, but I think we'll primarily optimize it for folks who can be in person, but of course we'll also have an online kind of hybrid setup for anyone who wants to accommodate the time zone difference.
Just a warning, the Atlanta office is kind of small.
I booked the 12 people conference room.
Great.
Cool.
And that is the day we have the retrospective. So either we move the retrospective in the interest of doing other things, or we have the retrospective. It's up to us.
I think it's a great opportunity to do the retrospective with Fred in person and just talk about broader things.
Sweet. And then we'll leave the mic open for half an hour before the retrospective to just do other things and chat, and if there is cross communications that need to happen.
Yeah, I booked the entire day, like 9 to 5, I think, with the conference room, and we can just hang out there. And
sweet, yeah. Sweet, awesome. And we are planning. We'll plan the travel, and we'll be there. Okay. Any other items for the team?
I had one more question that I had occurred to me earlier today. Did we ever get a Pyrsia node set up on the cloud?
Yes, it was. Yeah, and Mark, were you able to try it out? I think you started it, and then Steve Taylor helped.
Well, that wasn't the Pyrsia node. That was just a Synapse node, and no.
Oh, that is a Synapse node. Oh, okay.
No, that would be in the next step. Once I have the torrents, then trying to use them with something. So I haven't got yet to the point where I will actually exercise it.
Oh, so
forewarning for that, the technologies we use don't actually work across the internet for discovering nodes. So you're going to have to hard code a few things when you get there.
Yes, that's the reason for wanting a cloud node, so that we can hard code its address and that it becomes a seed for all the other nodes.
Okay. Yeah, just Elliot, if you just wanted to bring up a Docker container which has Pyrsia node, we do have a Google account that is dedicated to our team. You can feel free to experiment. And if you're not yet onboarded on that account, then that is on me. I can help you onboard to that account. And that is our playground, basically.
I think I need help getting onboarded to that, but we don't have to.
Try and see if you can't log in with your JFrog.
I will send you instructions, Elliot, because
awesome.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call that out because I did go looking, and I only found the Synapse link, and I was like, well, where is there a Pyrsia node? Because yeah, awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed it.
No.
No.
I also have a question. I'm still thinking about like how to write the part of when do people should prefer native build and when they should prefer the Docker build in the README. And from what I understood, native build works for everything except Windows, or does it work on Windows as well?
We
For
haven't
now, it
tested.
does not
Yeah.
work on Windows. There's a ticket which will fix that, but I don't know when we'll get to it.
Okay.
Hopefully, so I have a motivation to get to it because if I want to do integration testing with my personal laptop, it's a Windows laptop.
Okay, so for now, native build everywhere except Windows.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And if that is it, we'll wait for GitHub to be back and then get back to work.
Yeah, the only other exception, Baruch, would be, and I did point this out, was code coverage.
Yeah,
That
GitHub is
tool.
back.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would say something like do a local compilation where possible, which is everywhere except Windows because it's faster and simpler. And if you cannot, for example, cross compilation or Windows, do the Docker build, something like that. Does it
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, sounds
Maybe
good.
Okay.
I've maybe one question that's maybe not the right moment to ask, but because we were talking about the node in AWS or GCP has been talked as well, don't we risk that this is driving more, that it then seems that Pyrsia is mainly for when you deploy your clients in the cloud instead of being truly decentralized? I mean, isn't that giving
Well, there's
strange-
there's the concept of bootstrapping, right? I mean, we're building a network, and so saying we have a well-known node that you can bootstrap against, I don't think is too much of an ask.
There's a context, Johan. So for the demo, if we need some infrastructure which makes the demo more effective, then we can use that infrastructure to help that, like Chris mentioned, the hard coding. But as a product, we want to have minimal reliability or reliance on anything on the cloud, so that it stays decentralized.
Yeah, I was just throwing that out there as the other side of this, of course, is it doesn't necessarily have to be a single bootstrap node.
No, it's what ideally we have a geographically based DNS name that routes it to whatever the nearest node is that they can bootstrap off of. So it's not dependent on just one.
There's no such thing today as like a fully decentralized application. Like there's like hardware infrastructure challenges going across the internet, right? So like there has to be some bootstrap node somewhere, and there could be lots of them, and they can all be known and publicly accessible to bootstrap things. But having like a true decentralized, we have to solve like the IXPs don't route half the traffic that we need. So there's more problems there than just advertising yourself on a network.
But that is a
not
good.
only that I was mentioning, so it's definitely part, but also the fact that what do we want people to use? Do we want them to use their personal hard drive as a storage that everyone can use, or do we want them to buy storage at AWS and use that? Then I think that's a conceptually huge difference.
We should allow both.
I don't know that. We don't know that yet. Meaning, I think when we started with the initial thought process for this project, we talked about using your personal hard drive. And then if organizations want to dedicate, by the way, Elliot, we can see your Google Cloud, which is working. Thank you. By the way, if organizations wanted to bring up a node, then that is a different area, and we'll come to it and address it. But for the short term, we would want people to dedicate power and space on their own machines and power the decentralized network that way.
But that's assuming that their local machines are actually accessible from the internet, which overwhelmingly they're not. So there's a little bit of a hardware infrastructure challenge there as well.
Yes.
Well, again, we got to start somewhere. So if we start by saying, hey, we need at least one publicly accessible node to bootstrap our network for now, I think we're okay. And we can always reevaluate if we need to, right?
And that's exactly how I'm thinking about it. That yeah, if we need one to solve the immediate problem, make sure the demo works well, and then we say, hey, there is this node that you will have to trust, and that provides us minimal things to set up, then that is a good starting point. And then we'll iterate and figure out whether that will scale, whether that means we have to distribute them geographically and all of that. I don't think that is a hard requirement that we have to have them.
No, it just means by doing that, the world isn't dependent on a single node.
And it's also not dependent on some protocol that half the ISPs won't route.
Yeah, I mean, that's the usual solution. That's the reason that, for example, LA can log into GCP and you can log into GCP. We're in different geographies, but we're all routed to a nearby node with the same.
Yes, and
name.
what I'm saying is that is a problem in the future, probably after the demo. So we should not try to solve that right now and invest a lot of energy in that. Hey, we are at time, but if you wanted to continue chatting about this, I'm fine with it. I need to go for another meeting. Thank you.
Thanks for the link, Sudendra. That obviously worked for me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, you're welcome.
Did anybody else have any other topics they wanted to chat about before we drop for the day? All right, guys. Well, talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.